Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler video series videos I do for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff. That time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. This is probably not going to be the most pleasant experience I've ever had, but we're going to do it anyway. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's a super simple format. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm going to yammer on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my back room today, which means we get Beer Can Thunderbolt poster. Yay! Whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I am doing something else. What is it? Oh, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. And folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for you today, folks? What happens to be my boom? My Sega Dreamcast shirt. Yay! I love my Sega Dreamcast shirt. This was one of my, fairly early on, online nerd shirt purchases. Because I had nerd shirts before. Sometimes you go to, a Hot Topic or maybe a Spencer's Gifts or some shit, places like that, and you get something. But this one I got several years ago now, and it was actually back when I still bought into the whole thing, because you get, ads for Facebook shit and everything, and it'd be like, oh, limited time, and almost never means anything. But if you're unfamiliar with the Sega Dreamcast, I don't even know if we can associate, but we'll try. Okay, Sega Dreamcast was the swan song console from Sega as a company. For those of you maybe too young, yes, Sega used to make video game consoles. They didn't just make video games and occasionally toss out a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. It is to this day one of my very favorite systems. I still have my original one that I've held on to for many, many years. It's a wonderful, glorious thing. If you ever have the opportunity, there's some really good stuff on there that I still think holds up. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Why is it going to be unpleasant? What are we doing here? Well, folks, because I bought this at some point and it's been in my pantry for long enough that finally I just said to hell with it. Boom, it's this! It's from Samyang, 2 times the spicy, Buldak artificial spicy chicken ramen flavor cup. Stir-fried ramen. So this is one of those, obnoxiously hot ramens. And I've reviewed some of those on the channel. In fact, I have an entire playlist called Ramen Reviews, which is just a playlist of basically me trying out instant noodle stuff. Yeah, okay. So I don't even remember exactly when I bought this. A lot of times I'll just go to Asian grocery stores and I'll just pick stuff up. Although I have noticed this has become more prominent. You can actually get this a lot of times at international sections at just fairly local stores. So yeah, sure, man. This is one of those ramens where it's a little bit more involved. You got to go over there, boil the water separately, then pour it in, then pour out the water. I'm not gonna lie. Usually when I do that, I leave some of the water in to kind of help dilute it a little bit. No water. This is just the noodles and the stuff. So let's get a thing for the thing since I've been yammering. It looks like that. Sure. And I don't have any milk by me. I don't have any water. We're just going to go into this, folks, because I like some spicy stuff, and I hate myself. So, still very hot. Almost immediate. Oh, yeah. That burns the whole way, literally from your lips all the way to the back of your throat. Yeah, it's hot. It's proper hot. When it comes to a lot of these spicy ramens and stuff, back in what was it? Probably I don't know, 20, probably I don't know, 16, 18, something like that. You had the whole spicy Korean ramen thing. That was the whole thing. Fortunately, I wasn't doing reviews at the time. I could have maybe gone over there and made a little bank for myself at that point. But, and I've even reviewed that stuff. Thing is, subsequently, the ramen companies caught on. And they're like, okay, we can go over there and make this stuff obscenely hot, and people will eat it because it'll be funny on the internet. Here we are. Now, I'm not trying to be all that funny about it. I might crack a joke here or there, but that's just kind of part of my shtick. Um, but I'm not trying to like have like a super over exaggerated reaction or anything. That said, it is definitely very spicy. To the extent where it is spicier than you would want. I think most people, even people who enjoy spicy stuff, I would say that many of them, not all, but many of them, this would probably be a bit much. Because it's not just that it's spicy. You know, it's not like going over there and pouring hot sauce on a hot dog or something like that. This, all you have is sauce and noodles. So it prolifer. Sorry, I'm not even gonna try because I can't pronounce the word properly with my way my lips are feeling. It saturates the entire experience. You know, there's nothing else to kind of dilute it or to kind of mitigate it. But here's what I will say: the actual flavor of the sauce and the noodles and everything isn't unpleasant. The noodles themselves are fine. I probably would have gone over there. They suggest putting the water in for 4 minutes, then pouring it out. I probably would have gone 5. I prefer my noodles a little bit softer, but I went with their recommendation, and they're cooked through and everything, But uh, in terms of the flavor of the sauce, I'm guessing they probably use. I mean, it's literally you get like a sauce packet, and then you also get like a little like packet full of like spicy herbs or seeds or some shit. I'm guessing that part of the sauce is probably maybe ghost pepper based because the sauce kind of reminds me of almost like a super spicy barbecue sauce. It actually has a nice flavor to it. Though you will notice I am not going back to it because I'd like to be able to continue to do my review with limited pain. Um, but no, it is just because I'm such a nice guy, I'll even get in one final thing for you. If there is one thing that's nice about it, it's that it isn't just heat. There is actually flavor to it. It is very much a hot flavor, though. Like, it tastes like a hot sauce. Not like a maple hot sauce or a blueberry hot sauce. It tastes like a hot sauce. It tastes like it's going to be hot. Um, but it has a nice kind of. Again, I kind of think it probably has ghost pepper as a base. I'm just throwing that out there because the flavor does remind me a bit of like kind of a barbecuey sort of ghost pepper kind of flavor. But it's very peppery, very heavy in the flavor. Like, again, it's not just heat, there is flavor to it. It, I mean, it is what it is. You're not, most people aren't going into this with the expectation of like, oh, I'm going to have this as just a tasty meal. Oh, you're doing it for the lulz and, for whatever. And that's perfectly fine. Uh, I mean, here's the thing. 2 questions have to be asked. Would I get this again? Would I recommend it? Um, Probably not, and it really depends on who you are as a person. For me personally, I do like spicy ramen. I reviewed sriracha ramen, I reviewed like Shin-chan spicy ramen, a bunch of different ones. Uh, when it comes to these ones that are, again, almost comically flavored, it's just too much for me. It, it's it really is one of those things where like it's just while the flavor is good, the level of spice is actively working against me. Like again, it's still on my tongue, it's still on my lips, and it's painful. It's actually an almost like a stinging sensation, though not quite. Like if it was, I would maybe think scorpion peppers were involved, but I don't think so. It's just a heat sensation. Um, the only time I really ever buy these in terms of like food things is if I decide that I'm going to mix them with another ramen. And then, like one time I did it with like, I had some cheese ramen and I had like some spicy ramen. I mixed the two together and it was delicious. But that's really all I ever use these things for unless I'm doing a review. I will not just buy these for the fuck of it. But at the same time, if I'm recommending them, I also recognize that like, hey, I am not every person. I think I'm probably closer to every person in this instance than I usually am because I like spicy stuff, but this for me is too much. But I do, like I said, I'm sure there are people out there for whom this isn't just for the lulz. It really is just something that they enjoy to enjoy. I think, if you're going to go over there and try this out, it really is one of those things. Like, is the average person going to try this and like it on a food level? Probably not. It, again, is very spicy. It is kind of abrasive. But are there going to be those people who, yeah, maybe they just want that level of spice? And I've had spicier ramen than this. I've tried spicier ramen than this. Again, go through the playlist. Um, you folks are out there. And that's why it's one of those things where it's like it really depends on the person. If this seems like something that you would be into and you know who you are, sure, go ahead and get it. It's tasty. The noodles are fine. You can adjust, again, maybe give it a little bit longer, maybe leave a little bit of the water in. You can kind of play with it your own way. But yeah, I mean, it really is. It's one of those things where it's spicy to the extent where it's more for fun. So, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of your month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there and have yourselves a truly, whatever spicy level you like, tastic rest of your life. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do all the time, I know I can't do all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important that we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Oh, wow, I swallowed something. Whew. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, the thing that I want you to do is, if you do enjoy your spicy stuff, do so responsibly. Okay, remember, you go too far with that stuff too often, you can cause problems for your insides, ulcers, things like that. Thankfully, I've never had that issue. But I have heard of it being a thing. Just be careful with it. Nothing wrong with enjoying and indulging here and there, but just like anything, it's got to be moderation. And then, of course, you see, like, people who go over there and just down, like, 10 million Scoville, hot sauces and whatever, and they're just like, good on you. Not me. But, if nothing else, go play some Dreamcast. Or at the very least, maybe emulate some games or something. I'm sure some of the Dreamcast games are available on whatever service. Bye.